Hey, what's going on everybody? Tricker here. Today we're in the F-16 inside of DCS World and we're going to be doing some aerial refueling with a KC-135. Now I did a poll the other day on my channel and to my surprise, aerial refueling was the #1 commented thing that people struggle with. So let's make a quick little video here and see if I can give you some tips. Okay, welcome to the DCS World F-16 cockpit, and today I found a mission on the DCS user files page. Make sure you always check out this user file page because sometimes there's some great missions or liveries that you can download. So the mission I found is called F-16 Air-to-Air Refueling Training Grounds. I'll make sure I put it in the description below so you can go ahead and download it. It's by a user named Molder76, so thank you for putting this together for us. So reading the situation, it does say on the left, Arco 11 at 18,000 feet on channel 300. This is the tanker that we're going to use today, and it's using a medium racetrack pattern. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, starting out, we got a master caution for the bingo fuel, so we'll clear that and hit the warning reset on the upfront controller. We're going to turn left towards the tanker. You can see the tanker on the 11 o'clock position on my lift vector. I put the control display on the bottom left of the screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing with the throttle and my stick inputs. Right now I hit COM 1 and put in 300 for the UFC for the tanker, so 300, enter. And you can see on the DED on the very top left, it does say 300.00 for the UHF. All we're doing right now is just chasing the tanker. Make sure we're keeping an eye on our speed. Looking down here to the left to open up the aerial refueling door. Turning on our helmet mounted queuing system. Making sure the mast arm is off and also the radar is off. Okay, coming over here to the right, we're going to flip up this switch that says DED data, so everything is put up on the HUD from the DED, and we're going to hit list and then bingo, so that way that we can see how much fuel we have in the tank, so we don't have to take our eyes off the HUD. Alright, we're contacting the tanker now. Okay, he's at 18,260 knots. So make sure you remember that, 260 knots. So in the adjust controls, there's actually an aerial refueling request pre-contact button here, and I have that bound to my HOTAS. Sometimes it's kind of a pain in the butt to use the comm menu when you're right behind the tanker, so I definitely recommend you bind this aerial refueling ready pre-contact button. So just making sure that the door's open, mast arm's off, radar's silent. We got everything up on the DED data. And right here it says ready for our aerial refueling. So we're all set to go. Let's just get into formation here. So one of my #1 tips here would be to fly in formation with the tanker for a little bit. So just get comfortable with flying in formation. That's probably my #1 tip, is just get in formation, hang out for a little bit, see if you can turn with the tanker. So remember, all my control inputs are on the bottom left of the screen, so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get in formation with the tanker. He's going 260 knots. And right now we're doing about 290. So we're still slowing down just a little bit just to match his speed. You can see the KC-135 is just jittering a little bit. I think that's a multi-threading bug. So please ignore that. It fixes itself here in just a moment. So we're just sliding in formation here. Again, probably my #1 tip is just fly in formation. And this takes a lot of practice. So, please don't get discouraged if you see people just slide in there and get their aerial refueling done. This is a hard procedure. Just remember, it does take a lot of practice. It is not easy to do this. So you get frustrated, take time off, and take breaks. Always take breaks if you're having a hard time doing this. Again, this is a hard procedure, so please don't get discouraged. You can do this. So I'm using track IR right now, and a lot of people use VR, so I know VR is a little bit easier just because you get that depth perception. So in track IR, you don't get that depth perception. So here we are, just making sure we're in a nice formation, matching the speed of the tanker, 269, very nice, I like that. So we look to the right to make sure it was clear, nobody's there. Let's go ahead and slide on in. As you can see, as I'm sliding in, everything is nice and gentle. I'm not yanking and banking on the stick. Everything is smooth transitions. So always remember, just smooth transitions. When I'm actually doing this, I'm using my fingertips. I don't want to move the stick that much. I'm just using my fingertips. When we're in a nice stable position, we're going to hit the HOTAS command, ready pre-contact.
Ready pre-contact.
And there we go, cleared contact. As you can see, that's nice and easy, because if I had to use the F10 menu and I'd have to be looking around, I don't want to be taking my eyes off the tanker. So you want to have that sight picture. We always talk about sight picture, so we're just moving in nice and slow here. Extremely slow and smooth. Don't want to hit the boom, so we're just under it. You can go to the left or right if you wish. And right now my eyes are focused on the belly of the aircraft, because there's the lights that tell you if you're too far forward or too far back, or if it tells you need to go up or down vertically. So again, we're still looking at the belly of the aircraft to get those lights centered. And when we get that contact, we're going to be making sure that we check our sight picture. We're always looking at our sight picture. You don't want to be staring at one thing. We're always cross-checking everything like an instrument flying. Okay, there's contact. We're taking fuel. You can see on the HUD that the fuel is increasing, so we don't have to take our eyes off of what's in front of us here. Everything is smooth right now. So if we're looking at the control indicator on my bottom left, I am barely doing anything right now. Nice and smooth. Again, right now I'm looking at the engines because that's my sight picture. You can always pick out what you want your sight picture to be. I'm using the engines, and I'm also cross-checking that with the belly of the aircraft. I'm looking at the lights. So right now we're centered for the forward and aft, and anything it tells me to do, I'm going to correct immediately with smooth transitions. So right now we're just keeping it steady. Sometimes it tells me I'm a little low. I just pull back just a tiny little bit to get it back and center it. I'm anticipating a turn here in a little bit. And here it comes. So with the turn, you know, smooth transitions. I wish it told you that there was a turn coming, kind of like in another flight simulator, but we can always wish. So again, just try to correct everything it's telling you to do. Right now we're a little low, and we're too far back, so I'm increasing throttle just a little bit. That was a little too much, so taking it back just a tad, and then bringing it back in. It's all about anticipation. And yes, this is a difficult procedure. So just remember, just keep at it, keep practicing. So again, we're still trying to correct everything that we're doing. So we did that initial left turn. We're still trying to correct everything here. Got a little wobbly, but we're always correcting. Trying to get back into that smooth transition of flight. And just remember, we've been here for a little bit, so always trying to make sure our sight picture, keep that cross-check going. I'm using the engines as my sight picture. Always cross-checking that with the belly of the aircraft. And then also sometimes scanning down at the bottom of the HUD to make sure we're still taking fuel. So we're still taking fuel. We're just passing 13,000 pounds right now, so we're almost done. So remember to keep at it, keep going. You're almost there. And then sometimes you just got to remember, man, this game looks beautiful. I mean, this looks amazing right now, so can't complain about that. So we're getting fuel for our mission to get out there and take out all the baddies. There we go, transfer complete. So what we're going to do here is drop altitude and pull the power back just a little bit, just to pull away from the tanker. Just a quick glance to the right to make sure nothing's there, and get back in formation. So we're going to fly in formation again with the tanker on the right-hand side. Let your friend's tank on the left. Go ahead and close the aerial refueling door. And if you need to turn on the master arm again and the radar, you may do so. Here we are, we're just waiting in formation. Again, flying formation is key, because if you can fly in formation, you can also tank perfectly, because you can fly at the exact speed that you need to. Another suggestion, you can also put out the speed brakes just a little bit to help with the throttle inputs that you have. Let's say you're having a lot of throttle inputs, you can try to use the speed brakes just to help you out a little bit there to dampen that anticipation. So again, I really hope you enjoy this video here, and maybe I'll put out some more on other aircraft in the future, but this is the F-16 refueling guides, tips video, whatever you want to call it. And always fly by the tanker and give them a little flare, because they love that. You know, nothing like starting a little fire with fuel. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks for watching, and fly safe.